Just maybe tweet out the stream for us.
Yep.
All right. What's going on, everyone? We are week 10 coming at you guys again. Consistency. Sorry, we're 10 minutes late. The most consistent duo out here right now in the podcast game. So let's run it up for another week, baby. Week 10. Kyle, kick us off. You run the schedule on these things. Tweeting us out. All right. I'll start off by throwing some out there. Pardon my cough. A lot of big games last week. We had a bad parlay beat.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Do we want to cover this topic first?
Talk about that. 5-1. So we're rolling, right? We have got a little parlay going, all spreads. I'm not even gonna pull it up to be honest, but yeah, basically we had a parlay going. It was 6 spreads, 10 to win, 625. We get through the 1 o'clocks, we get through the 4 o'clocks. We're into the night slate. Who does that happen to be? Who is it?
It was the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills, and they're taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And I have them sitting at +2. Didn't hedge out. I didn't for Buffalo. Could have hedged out. Don't really care. Whatever. So they were locked up profit, but yeah, last leg, 625 on the line. Buffalo crushes it with another crushing loss. You can get into that. They're now 5-4.
Now that we're on the
24-18. Tough one.
So we're on the recap. We're recapping some games. We will start with the Bills game. Crush the parlay. Give me your thoughts right now about the Bills. What's going on? What happened Sunday night? What's been happening? What do we think? Our odds to make the playoffs are -120.
I do want to pull that up if I can find it here. Make the playoffs. But yeah, I'm gonna pull this up and share my screen, even if it lags a little bit. But just to show the people a little bit what we're talking about here. So let's zero in. Go right here. Bills to make the playoffs. Right here. Yes and no. We got -120 for Buffalo to make the playoffs. And we got +100 for them not to make the playoffs. Comment what you guys think. Let us know. I think these odds are abysmal and disrespectful to the Buffalo Bills, sitting at 5-4, 9th in the AFC, which is not good at all. But -120 to make the playoffs on a coming into the year a Super Bowl contender who had like the 4th or 5th best odds to win the entire thing. Now sitting at -120 just to make the playoffs. A little interesting for sure. I think it's disrespect. I do think we sneak in, but I wouldn't throw a large bet on it. I don't love what I'm seeing right now. Yeah.
My mic was muted. Sorry. Rockzilla in the chat says Bills still win the division. Dolphins have yet to be a good team. I like that mindset, Rockzilla. Shout out Rockzilla. Shout out Cindy in the chat. I'm going to give my thoughts. Going to try to keep my thoughts quick and concise here. People are acting like the sky has fallen, that the Bills lost after 2 turnovers. They lost to a Super Bowl contending team with Joe Burrow, who's a top 3 quarterback in the league. A team who's been to the AFC Championship, the Super Bowl the year before. And then they beat an injury-driven Bills team. And we're going to come out here and act like that the sky is falling because we lost that game? Nonsense. I'm sick and tired of the media, too, just bashing the Bills. The meat riding is crazy. And I had to write a lengthy email to the DraftKings people about that line that they set to the Bills. They did that purposely just to disrespect us. We finished 11-6, top of the division. We soar into the playoffs on a win streak, and teams are crapping their pants when they got to play Buffalo. Plain and simple. I'm going to leave it at that. Go look up stats. I'm not a numbers guy. Look up the stats about Josh Allen. Look how he's playing this year. He's one of the top QBs playing in the league this year. Talk
You're
to us
saying they're
nice.
in by a landslide? Are they in by a landslide?
In the playoffs by a landslide?
Yes.
Yes. And you want to know why I say yes? Even if it comes down to that last game against Miami, we're going to smoke them to get into the division. Come
Yeah, I
talk
mean,
to us. Big trust. Talk to us nice.
I'm gonna
Don't
have
ever
to
try to
say-
disrespect us on social media like that again.
I have to say I'm on the contrary here.
Yeah, spit it. I'll sit here and debate with you.
I do
Freaking
think
clown.
they make the playoffs, but I think they sneak in. They squeal in by the skin of their teeth, sitting at 11-6 or 10-7.
11-6 guarantees you a playoff spot. It's not sneaking in. You win
I think.
about
No,
double
we're
the
gonna-
games you lose. You're not sneaking in. You're soaring in with a great record.
I think this season comes down to one game, and one game only. Oh,
And we have Rockzilla in the chat talking crazy about the crap Raiders. Says Max Crosby the
zero in
GOAT.
on that game.
Ye-
We're gonna zero in on that game, and it comes down to this one.
Yep, Bills
Buffalo
Dolphins.
at Miami, last game of the year. Bills will be sitting at 10-6 coming into this one. They'll win the next 4, lose the next 2, 7-6. They'll win the next 3 after that, 10-6. 2 we lose, by the way, is the Eagles Chiefs back to back, and then we'll be 10-6, flowing nice into the playoffs, kind of like we did a couple years ago when we started 7-6 and went to the AFC divisional game and beat the Chiefs, and then they got lucky with 13 seconds, but we won that game. Anyways. So Bills at the Dolphins. It'll come down to this one, and yeah, we're gonna have to go get a win and sweep this team like we already
Yeah.
did earlier in the year.
Yeah, speaking about that Dolphins team, let's recap. Let's move on from the Bills. We had enough of them. We'll get into them later. They have a distasteful taste in my
Yeah.
mouth, but we don't need to
I
talk
just
about
wanna
them.
say though,
Let's
I
move
wanna
on.
Say I don't like what I'm seeing. No, I can't sit here and say I like what I'm seeing. I hate what I'm seeing. We're 5-4, 9th in the AFC, and we need to recognize 3rd in the division because the crappy Jets lost. But we have to recognize that, and it's a flaw, and we need to get better. And I think they'll get right here, as they should against a lousy Broncos team. But I'm gonna have to say I don't love what I'm seeing out of the team. It's pissing me off. And if they go and lose to the Dallas Cowboys, that's gonna be the nail in the coffin for me. And that's gonna be where I say the Bills will no longer be making the playoffs this season. If we go and lose that game, that's it.
Yeah.
So I have a short leash with this team right now. I want to be very clear, but I do think they sneak in.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just not act like we weren't 7-6 last year though. At one point, and then we rattled off like 5 in a row, 4 in a row. I'll leave it at that. All right. Dolphins, Chiefs. Chiefs win 21-14. The score was one score game, but the Chiefs dominated most of the game. Dolphins had a few chances at the end. Dolphins just struggle in big games like the Bills. We struggle in big games right now. We're more than halfway through the season, and that's okay. The Dolphins got to get it figured out how to electrify that offense. My concern with them is when it comes playoff time, they're not going to be able to go on a long drive to score a touchdown. They need to score a 40-yard touchdown or they're not scoring.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I still say that they don't beat any good team for the rest of the year. They'll show some real growth if they go and beat a good team. But if they can't beat a good team, they're gonna. I don't care where they're playing. If they're in Miami and have the 1 seed, they will not get out of the first round if they cannot figure it out against good teams. The Dolphins are 6-0 against teams under 500 this year, and they're 0-3 against teams above 500. And 500 isn't even that good. Any team over 500 beats them. Any team under, they beat. Something they got to figure out. They are on fraud alert still, like we talked about a few weeks ago. They're a good team with an electric offense, one of the best in the league, but the defense isn't quite there, and they can't figure out how to beat a good team. So that's a bonus for the division that we're in.
Yeah, I think here we need to credit the Chiefs' defense as well. In my opinion, they're the best defense in the league.
Who?
The Chiefs, or the top
Oh,
3
yeah.
or top 4.
Chiefs are
The
up there,
defense is
definitely.
very good. Their offense, they have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. I don't know how good their offense is. I'm not super sold on their offense. However, you have a great defense. You'll be in games. You'll win a lot of games.
Yeah,
Another game I want to just talk about, the Baltimore Ravens. Man, do they look good. I talked about earlier, I want to get a Super Bowl future in on the Baltimore Ravens. They're severely underrated right now. They are one of the, if not the top best team in the league right now, man. They just look impeccable. Lamar's playing great football. That defense, Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, just dogs all over that Ravens defense. It's absolutely incredible. I know you're a big Ravens rider, so you got to be a little hyped up how they're looking right now.
yeah, I'm right there with you. I thought the same exact thing coming into this. I had this on my mind, and I was thinking about placing a wager on the Baltimore Ravens to win the playoffs, or to win the Super Bowl. I'm kicking myself right now because in the beginning of the year they were sitting at like plus 3,000. I had my sights set on taking them here to win the Super Bowl. I didn't put it in, but they're still sitting plus 950 with the fourth best odds to win it. I think they have a better chance than each of the three teams ahead of them than lousy Niners at plus 600, Eagles at plus 550, and Chiefs at plus 475. I love the value still at Ravens at plus 950. I'd like it to skyrocket a little more to plus 1,000, but I mean, I would still place a future on that, and I probably will here. I think this team's, like you said, if top 2, 3 teams in the league, if not the best team. I think they're the best team with the way they look right now, so I'm right there with you. This Baltimore Ravens team is a force to be reckoned with, and I'll jump into fantasy a little bit.
Wait, no,
You
no,
guys
no, no,
haven't
no, we're
already.
not done yet. Not done yet.
Well, it's a guy on this team.
Oh, okay,
that's
okay. All
why.
right, go
I
ahead,
just
go
wanna
ahead.
say go
All
pick
right.
up Keaton Mitchell. He's the running back for the backup on the Ravens. So go pick him up. They have a three-headed running back trio with Gus Edwards, Keaton Mitchell, and Justice Hill. So
Yeah, so I
look
hate.
for this team to keep rolling. Even when Lamar doesn't throw a touchdown, these running backs break out. He had 0 touchdowns in their 30-6 win against the Seahawks. Or who'd they beat this week?
The Seahawks.
Yeah, they crushed the Seahawks, a top 10 team. And they also dominated the top 10 Lions 37-3 the week before. So this team's on their high horse and they are rolling, and I don't see them slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, I just hate to fade you on the fantasy wire pickup, but how good is a pickup is that? We see Gus Edwards is the man of that backfield. This guy just spawns into nowhere in a blowout week, and we're picking him up, or did he last week? We're picking him up after 2 blowout weeks. Does this guy see snaps when they're in a tough game, or is it Gus Bus taking all them snaps?
I don't know. We'll have to see, but I picked him up. I used 30 fantasy points on him, 25 in another league. I went all in for the guy, picked him up. He's projected 4 points. We'll see if he can skyrocket over that this week.
Yeah. I want to talk about now the last big game of the week, Cowboys Eagles. What a game! Incredible game. I don't take anything away from each of the teams. Great win by the Eagles. They continue to win. And then the Cowboys, they still can't get over the hump of winning a big game, but they showed that they could be in the game. What are your thoughts?
Say that again. My fault.
It's all right. Off topic. The Dallas and the Eagles. Eagles look good. They win a big game again. Dallas seems to come up short in these big games and not win. I thought the Cowboys played good though, but they still cannot get over the hump. But they did look good against the Eagles.
They're in the same boat as the Dolphins and, dare I say, Buffalo. They beat up on the bad teams and they get in a good game and they falter out, look terrible, and lose. That's how it's been going for those 3 teams. Dolphins, Buffalo, Cowboys. Out of the 3, I believe the Bills are best out of them.
I was going to say, please, most fraudulent, don't come out of your mouth. I thought it was about to come out.
The Bills will dominate the Cowboys December 17th when we play. Dominate, not 3.7, dominate by 10 plus. Dak 1 or 2 interceptions. Josh Allen 3 or 4 touchdowns. 35-17 in that one. Buffalo wins it.
Yeah. So now those recapped our games of the week of last week. I want to just a little small segment that I came up with, like clown or not. The Raiders smoking cigars after their win with their new coach over the bad Giants. Clown or not? What do you think?
I'm gonna have to say clown. Yeah, I like their vibe in the locker room after getting walloped every game. Before that, and having a terrible coach and letting the offense be free. I like their new head coach, but you're gonna smoke cigars after winning against a moose shit Giants team at 2-7 with a guy that tore his ACL mid-game with 2 touchdowns on the year. I mean, come
Like,
on
what are
now,
they
guys.
doing, right?
What are they 4-4 if that? That's not very good.
But Rockzilla, like he said in the chat, I do like, hey, the firing of McDaniels. They're on the right path. Picking up a win, good to do it. But you guys beat a college team. Let's be real for a minute. Beat a college team.
I wouldn't say college team.
I mean, Daniel Jones goes out early, gets hurt. That bum Tommy DeVito from Syracuse, and then wherever he transferred after that, comes in and the Raiders swamp a college team. Team's horrible. That being said, I would love to trade McDermott for Dable right now. I'd do that in a heartbeat. One thing that we do need to talk about, and I will come out here and say C.J. Stroud is looking like a top 7 QB in the league right now.
Yeah.
Guy's elite.
Say he's top 10.
He's elite. Put on a
He just had
historic rookie
5
performance.
touchdowns.
Freaking incredible. I've never seen a better performance by a rookie. Ever, I don't think. A rookie QB, when have you seen a better performance?
They haven't.
They
really.
haven't.
He had 5 touchdowns. He's easily running rookie of the year by landslide. He looked incredible, and he went on a game-winning drive with a minute left to beat the Bucks. I mean, you can't really teach that stuff. For me, that was the performance of the week for sure.
Yes, and
He threw for like 470 yards too.
one thing
Wow.
before we move on
That was
again,
on
man.
mission.
Let's just one time clap it up for Josh Dobbs. I mean, just
We gotta give Josh.
clap it
Dobbs
up
his
for
credit.
Josh Dobbs. I mean,
Very
comes
good player.
in, doesn't know anyone, doesn't even know the guy who he has his hands under his butt, snapping the ball. He has no idea what the guy's name is, has no idea what his running back's name is, his receiver's name's at. He doesn't know anyone on the team, not even the plays, and comes in and wins. Like, that was one of the most legendary performances I've ever seen. It was legendary. Keeps them in the playoff race. In the playoff race, and if you're Atlanta, my gosh.
Covered that game.
Ugh.
He won that game outright. Game-winning drive for him.
Atlanta,
there with
what
Stroud,
are you
just not as good as
doing,
him.
Atlanta? What are you doing?
It wasn't an
Freaking
easy one too.
clowns.
It was a dogfight, and Dobbs came and he turned the ball over. He had to scrap for this one. He went 20 of 30, 158 yards, 2 TDs, 7 carries for 66 yards and a touchdown. He can scramble too.
That guy's a dog.
He had a couple
He's a dog.
interception and a fumble, but he picked it up, turned it around, and I couldn't credit him more. Big Josh Dobbs hype train over here.
He's a dog.
We like him a lot.
Yeah.
Credit to him.
But
Dobbs might be him.
let's dive into some fantasy stuff. What do you got for us? You're more of this segment than me. I kind of
Yeah, I
rock
wanna
with my
just
team for the
say-
most part. Josh Downs got hurt. I'm very upset about. Just a crappy loss. You've been ranting and raving about him 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I have him on my team and he gets injured. Just sad.
Josh Downs. I'm not gonna say I'm off that hype train, but we'll see what his status is moving forward. I'm not gonna hype him up this week because he is hurt. So yeah. I would just say go get Keaton Mitchell. I already talked about it. Go get him. And yeah. That's all I really got for fantasy this week. Kind of moose shit the waiver wire. So
Yeah, I'll say
Keaton
one
Mitchell,
thing.
go get him.
Little sneaky one. If you need a QB, go pick up Will Levis against the Buccaneers. I expect him to air it out, score some points. Could be a sneaky pickup. Is that just Josh Dobbs?
Yeah.
I laugh every time I see his face. I just hate to say it. Is Dobbs an alien? I mean, his performance was unworldly. I mean, is he an alien or what?
Yeah, he's a beast. That's what I call him.
Yeah.
He's just from another planet.
Yeah.
But, yeah, not much on fantasy. We covered C.J. Stroud. He's top 10. I was gonna ask if he's top 10. We covered the Bills minus 120 plus 120 for the playoffs. Let's talk about Kyler Murray a little bit and his first game back, and then we can kind of get into the slate here. But what do we think Kyler Murray will do this week?
Well, I say we go right into that game. We got Atlanta at Arizona. Kyler Murray gonna be back. I'm not sure the spread on the game, but
Spread is plus 1.5. I
But-
know that for Carolina. They are plus 1.5 against the Falcons.
you will. I mean, yeah, I have to say it is there's gonna be some rust there. He's not gonna come back. He's not gonna throw 4 touchdowns. He's gonna come in. You look for them to hand the ball off a lot. I don't expect him to air it out or come back and be miraculous at all. I think last time we left out, I was on the fraud Murray train. I don't know if you remember that. I started that, by the way. Anyone else who uses fraud Murray, just know I called it out. I have Atlanta here. Fraud Murray. He's gonna come back. This Cardinals team's not good. He's not Josh Dobbs. They're gonna get beat. Simple as that.
Yeah, well,
Think he's gonna be underperforming. Take all his unders.
I'm gonna say the Cards. This is my favorite bet of the week, actually. I like the Cards to win this game outright.
Jesus.
Kyler Murray's first game back. I'm not sold on him. I like the guy. I've always rode with the guy. Not sold on him, but I do think he comes back. They're at home. Their fans are gonna be. They've been waiting for this. They're probably a little pissed off they got rid of Dobbs and watch what he did this week for the Vikings in a better lineup, a better system. They're gonna want this one, and they're gonna play hard. I don't care if they're tanking. They're gonna want this one when Kyler Murray's on his first game back. I could see them trying to turn the season around. It will not happen. But this one, I think they go get, if any, for the rest of the year. It's my favorite bet of the week, and it's a gross game. I'm willing to lay money line on this one, and it might have a lot of units on it. I think the Cardinals win this one outright. Close game with the Falcons, who are in a bounce back spot after losing to Josh Dobbs. They're gonna want some revenge taking on this team, but give me the Cardinals at home in this one. Try to get really sharp here and dial in.
Yeah, I'm just not on that side. I don't like them to win. I want to move on to what I think is game of the week, and that is Cleveland at Baltimore. I think that's by far the best game. The slate is like kind of ugly this week.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, but I do have some spots.
But yeah, I want to talk about this Cleveland Baltimore game. I feel I'm a big Browns guy. I root for the Browns. Like, I don't know, something about them. I just like them. Their defense is stellar, but man, Ravens -6 just seems like the play here. I mean, I can't go against Ravens with the best linebacker duo in the NFL and Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. I've been saying it for weeks. I know what side you're going to be on here. Got to be the Ravens, right?
Yeah, I am with the other. I see some action guys loading up on the Browns +6, but with the way the Ravens been looking and the way that Cleveland offense has kind of been sputtering out of control and Watson, I get it, their defense is stellar. But that's kind of how they're able to win games. They run the ball hard and they play defense. Against this one, I think the Ravens are going to be able to get to the Cleveland run D. I don't know how good the Cleveland run D is. I'm pretty sure it's pretty good, but I don't think it matters. This is a divisional game with a low total of 38, so I would watch out for that when laying 6 points, but I'm willing to maybe take a small bet that the Ravens cover this one, win this game by like 7. I think their offense will do enough. I think Lamar throws for a couple touchdowns. He had 0 last week. He's going to want to be on that score sheet at the end of this one. I think they run the ball hard. Give me Keaton Mitchell touchdown. Give me a Lamar rushing touchdown. Give me a passing touchdown from him to Andrews. And I think that'll be enough in a close 28-21 ball game here.
Yeah, so I will say as well, I like the Ravens team total over 22.5. I'm just not sold on Cleveland's offense. Like, yes, their defense is very good, but can they go put up points against a legit defense? I don't think so. the Ravens are legit on both sides of the ball. I have a lot to say about the Ravens this week. We'll give a lot more about the team when I do my top 5 teams, but they're just very good. I don't see a way that they lose the game. They're just absolutely rolling right now. Lamar is just playing great football. They seem to have it figured out. They're running the ball a lot. That's their identity right now. They're running the ball.
Yeah, we gotta give them some real credit.
They're punching teams in the mouth, hard-nosed style, and playing great defense, and they're running the ball.
Three-headed monster and Keaton Mitchell, Gus Edwards, and Justice Hill. You look at those guys, you don't think they're all that good, but they really they run the ball hard, and their offense. We know what Lamar can do. He had an MVP. They're putting him in the conversation right now. I'd like to see his stats go up a little bit, but I have said he's in that conversation, and I believe he is.
So, by the
They
way,
can throw the ball, run the ball. They play defense. They can do anything you want them to do, and it's showed up in the score sheet. They've been dominating top 10 teams. Let me say one more thing before you cut me off here. The Ravens has outscored their last 2 opponents, and this is the Seahawks and. Sorry, that was 2 games ago, but the Seahawks and Lions, they won by a combined 75-9.
Yeah.
75-9 against a top 10 Lions team and a top 10 Seattle team. 38-6, they beat the Lions, and 37-3. They beat the Seahawks, and then they sputtered with the Cardinals somehow, 31-24.
Yeah.
A little inconsistent there, but this team is dominating. This is the best team in the league right now, I have to say.
Yeah. Last thing I'm going to say, man. I mean, just please get off this Keaton Mitchell guy. I mean, he's played 3 games, only 9 attempts, 138 yards, a TD. He gets touches in the blowout, man. You're not going to see this guy in a game. In a anywhere close game, he will not be in the game. I guarantee he gets under 5 carries in the Browns game. I mean, I don't know where you're getting this analysis from that he's going to be in or playing.
Broke out last week, but it was a kind of
in a
big
blowout
play
win.
type thing. Yeah. It was a big play blowout type thing, but
Just be real with ourselves for a second.
I believe in him and I need him. I spent all my coin on him in fantasy, so I need him. But
this slate's actually not too bad. One thing I want to talk about, we have the Colts Patriots. I saw some reports that Belichick's job's on the line. I mean, I don't believe that.
yeah, I do believe it, but I'm not really willing to go to the grave with that.
I mean, if you fire Belichick after everything they've done for that thing, if you fire mid-season, that's the most dirtbag thing you can do as a Crafts. Ride out your losing season. There's no need to make a change right now. You guys aren't making the playoffs. You stink. Do it somewhere in the offseason, somewhere where it's cordial, you know. You don't need to go out try to make a big statement by firing Belichick. I mean, that'd be the dumbest thing you could ever do.
Yeah, I mean, I got to see what they do this week. If they go and lose to the Colts it's in Germany. If they go and lose to the Colts in Germany, I think his job could be on the line, but I do believe in Belichick. I do want to say that I think that the Colts will win this one. I'll probably have a bet on the Colts just because there's weird talks in that locker room. Things are not going well for the Pats this season. Would they be in Tank for Williams territory? Or
Yes.
Is that the Cardinals locking that up?
It's probably the Cardinals locking it up.
Because I could see the Colts very much repeating what they did last year to the moose crap Panthers and kind of rolling in this one.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Last week, but it was also because Bryce Young's terrible.
So
I like the Colts in this game.
yeah, I don't really have a side. I do like the Colts as well, but I do want to transition into the Thursday night game, Chicago, Carolina. I am fading Carolina for the rest of the year. That team is awful, like awful. Bryce Young's a bust. He's too short. He can barely grip the ball. He can barely throw the ball. You see his throws, it's a wobbly ball. Even just coming out of his arm, it doesn't look good. It's one of those QBs we talk about where you see him throw the ball and the camera angle's not there, so you don't really see where it goes. I think in my mind, first thing, interception. Like, he's not a good QB. He's absolutely terrible. I can't stand that Panthers team.
Yeah, you know we have those guys where they take a snap and you're holding your breath.
Right,
for a
exactly.
turnover at any
Right.
moment. We have him in that category. Ryan Tannehill, who's no longer benched now for Levis. Who else we have in that category? There's some other Kenny Pickett's
Jordan
in
Love,
that
Kenny
category.
Pickett.
Jordan Love is. Yeah, those
Yeah.
guys, they're tough to watch.
These guys that
And if you
can't
have a
just
bet on them, it makes them even harder to watch.
Right.
They just piss you off when you're watching them.
Yeah.
But,
So just fade the Carolina for cash. They
I
suck.
want to say though, I would take. I'm not going to the grave with it. I will not bet on the Panthers again this season. They were dead to me last week, and
It cost us
them
against
off
New
the road,
Orleans the
and
one
they
week too
lost.
when we made the hero play.
So now they're so far in the grave, and I like them this week. I do. I think they cover this game. I think they can win this game. I wouldn't lay the Bears to 4 in any world. I don't think they can beat a team by 4 points. If they're gonna, it's gonna be the Panthers. But I would take the Panthers plus 3.5 here. I will not be betting this game at all, though. Yeah, the Carolina Panthers are so far in my grave. That QB is not good. He needs to sit behind a starter before he tries to start and kind of learn how Mahomes did under Alex Smith and stuff. But he won't be anywhere near Mahomes at all. I could see him having a short career in the NFL, but I would take the Panthers here in this gross spot at the Bears. Will not be a bet for me though.
Yeah. Moving on to another big game. Now that I'm looking at the slate, it's not actually too bad. We have Houston and Cincinnati. Cincinnati laying 6.5. I'm gonna come out here and say it. I love Cincinnati minus 6.5. I feel like maybe it could be a letdown spot for them coming off a big win Sunday night against Buffalo. However, I think it's an even more bigger letdown spot for the Texans and CJ Stroud, who just went off in his best rookie performance in NFL history. So I think that's a huge letdown spot. It is 6.5, and the line here opened at 8. I mean, I have the Bengals here all day, easy cover. It's easy money.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm right there with you. I like the Bengals. It's one of my better spots of the week. It'll be in my parlay. So what they just did to Buffalo, I expect the same, if not more, from them this week at home. I think they kind of roll. A big Stroud guy, big Texans guy. I have my future on them to win the division. Still rolling around. They're up to second. I don't know if they'll catch the Jags. That's another story for another day, but give me the Bengals to kind of roll the Texans here. They got to get a reality check after Stroud's beautiful performance, 470 yards. He's also in the top 10 for passing yards this year, which is unheard of for a rookie. He's having a year, but it's a letdown spot. It's the Bengals, and it's the Bengals by a lot. Don't overthink this one. Put them in your parlay pieces on the money line. Put them in their spread pieces in a parlay. It's the Bengals, and it's not anything else this week.
Right now, there are no player props out on DraftKings, but I love Joe Burrow's over rushing yards, whatever it is. He's finally mobile now, and you see how effective that team is when he is mobile.
And they look scary again, man. They just look like that Super Bowl run team from a couple years in a row now.
Yeah.
Like they're getting back to that. Hate to say it, but they look good.
They look good.
I think they'll challenge
Don't let
the
them.
Ravens
Don't
for
let
the
them.
division.
Don't let them peak at the wrong time.
I think they'll challenge the Ravens for the division, but I don't think it'll be enough. I think they'll finish second and have a chance to run to the Super Bowl. I don't think they beat the Ravens for the division. I think the Ravens sweep them. They already beat them once on the road. I think they beat them again at home in a few weeks. And I think they sweep the season series, and that'll do it. But they will make a run.
Yeah.
Those early season woes kind of look over. Yeah, Ravens still top that division.
Yeah, moving into our next game, arguably game of the week as well, we have the 49ers taking on the Jaguars.
Wow, what a game.
I'll kick this one off here. I'm a huge 49ers fan this week. Jacksonville's 6-2, one of the top teams in the AFC. The Bills, we need them to lose. We have the tiebreaker with them. We need this team to get beat, maybe get knocked down a little bit.
So are you just saying this because you need the Bills to lose? Or you need them to lose for the Bills? Or do you think the Niners actually come in and roll them?
Going into my next spot, I think the Niners come in, and I wouldn't necessarily say roll them, but I think they get back on track with Deebo Samuel coming back. These teams are both coming off the bye. This Jaguars team, though, is riding a 5-win streak right now.
Yes. I am not willing to fade that any longer.
5-win streak, and they covered all 5 games, by the way. They won and covered. So, But I will be fading that. I'm going to take San Fran. I think they're just due. They've had some bad losses. They're finally fully healthy again. So I think they're going to come out and they're going to beat this Jaguars team, who's I think you could see struggle a little bit. What do you think?
And I'll be fading you here in this spot. I'll be all over the Jags. It'll be in my parlay. This could be a letdown spot for them, but I'm not willing to fade this team anymore until they show me that they're fadeable again. Fade them the last couple weeks, lost. Not willing to do it again. I'll be backing them. I'll be backing them down to the money line. I'll place the spread, but I think they could easily win this game. Just the trajectory of their seasons are going. The Jags are on the uphill climb. The 49ers are kind of on the downhill climb. But I will say the 49ers need this one much more than the Jags do in that NFC race. The close-knit race, they need it. Jags are 6-2. They can afford a loss non-divisional against the NFC. So I could see the Niners getting right, but I'm ultimately going to ride the Jags so they show me that I can fade them again. And watch, it'll be this week because I'm on them and they'll somehow lose. But we'll ride with it.
Yeah, do you think Purdy's in fraud territory?
Yes, you would have asked me this 3 weeks ago. I would have told you no, and he's one of the best in the league still, but he seems like a system QB.
And without Debo's system, which is a huge part of that system, throwing it to him in the
Yeah.
flat, dump down passes, screen passes, just giving it to Debo in
Reverses.
space to make plays seems to be. And then McCaffrey, again, leaning on guys to carry him.
I think this will be a Trevor Lawrence though day to get right with his buddy Kelvin Ridley. Could see Ridley get in the end zone.
That
Back him
guy's been
anytime.
underperforming this year.
I would back him anytime against the 49ers
I don't mind
team
it,
that
though.
you would
It's sharp.
think has a great pass D, but if you look in the rankings, they actually
Yeah, they
don't. I
don't.
think they're
Yep.
number like 25.
Yep.
I like Ridley to get in the end zone here, maybe even sprinkle on Kirk, but I'm ultimately backing Ridley. Have a good day.
By the
I
way,
think they can squeal this one out in a tough
yep.
close connection.
Rockzilla, you heard it here first. Fraud Purdy. Fraud Purdy. Get on the train. He's fraud. He's a bum. Not gonna win a playoff game this year. Yeah. I'm still gonna back Fraud Purdy though for some reason because I'm a meathead. And I'm just gonna bet with emotion because I need them for the Bills.
Hey, what other game should we get to? We can go to. Speaking of reverses, we can go to the Tennessee Titans and Bucks. A good one.
Yeah, I'd say this is more of a garbage game, but
Close spread though, but and these teams need a win. 4-5, 3-5. I'll just say this because I do like the Titans, and I want to just point out, just for information purposes, the Titans have flipped from an underdog to a slight favorite at -1. Willing to back that on the money line.
wow.
Titans like to win these close games where they're inconsistent. They just lost to the Steelers. I think they bounce back. Will Levis is now the official starter. I think he does enough against the Bucks team that has sputtered out 5 in a row. Has not been looking very good. I think the Titans are just gonna get this one. Weird feeling.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like a side here, but I do like the over. The Titans are rolling with Will Levis at their
Pencil that in, pick 'em
QB.
as well.
They're throwing it hard. He showed some upside throwing the ball downfield. This Bucks defense just got torn apart by C.J. Stroud. They rank 31st in yards per pass. They also have Jamal Dean, who's injured. There's only been like one team who's scored under 20 against Tampa Bay, and that was Atlanta. So I expect the over to soar here. Should definitely get to 40. The Titans defense have also allowed 20-plus points in 4 straight games. Baker Mayfield also ability. We've seen him throwing to Mike Evans downfield. I just love points here. I love the over coming here in a cross-conference matchup as well. The teams are not familiar with each other. Love the over. I'm going to go lock that in right now. Actually, one of my best bets of the week.
Over in
Over 38.5.
at Tennessee
Tennessee
Bucks.
Bucks.
game. Yeah.
I do want to jump into the Buffalo-Denver game. a grosser game on the slate. We are non-biased here, so we just talk about this game just because we feel like it. Yeah, I love the Bills to bounce back here by 20 plus. I feel like we've been waiting for a bounce back week after week. I think they cover 7.5 at home. It's not a major play. Don't throw it in your parlays. Might be disappointed come Monday night. But just play it for a small play. I like us to win like 30-10, and I'll beat this team by 19 plus. However,
Yeah.
I will say, look at QB numbers. Russell Wilson has been playing some darn good football. 16 TDs, 5 picks. Those numbers speak for themselves. He's been playing good football. The team just stinks around him. So I don't want to hear any fraud Wilson going around. He's good. He's a solid QB. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you here. I like this
I
team to
agree,
cover.
Rockzilla. Go ahead.
I like this team to win this game and cover by a lot, but not because of how they look or because how bad the Broncos are.
This
Now, I
Broncos
will
team is
say,
on your dead list, by the way, correct?
yes, and they are on the uphill climb, though. They've looked better the last 2 weeks.
Can
Or
teams come off of the
after
dead
I put
list?
them on my dead list. Yes, as we saw last week with the Panthers.
Right.
It didn't go
But
well.
so
I
like
don't love to go there.
when they come off your dead list, do they have are they back alive? Do they revive themselves if they pick up
They
a win and
that
cover?
Game, they back alive, and I usually
Gotcha.
take them off.
Okay.
If they lose that game or even get crushed, they're so far in the grave, and that's it.
So like I mean the Panthers are done until next season.
Yep, they're done, and I want to bet them tomorrow. I do, but I just can't do it. They're done. Yep. They're fully done.
Just curious how the dead list works.
Yep.
Can we
Shouldn't
can we just hear the dead list, the multi-sport dead list?
Yeah, there's teams on it from last year though that I gotta kind of clean up, but
Yeah, kind of just start from this year what you have from
I'll just read
MLB
them
and all
off.
that.
I'll just kind of say
The infamous dead list. And do you have a
I'll just
reason?
say what. Yeah, I'll read off the reasons.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I have the Cardinals. I'll just list off the team in sport. Cardinals for MLB. They're one of the worst teams in the league. Angels MLB. Kind of the same thing there. Mets MLB. Padres MLB. Tigers MLB. Minnesota CFB. Kent State CFB, who I faded tonight. Looking good. California CFB. After multiple times betting them and losing. Navy CFB. After that week 0 and then another time I bet them, they dispounded. FIU CFB. USM CFB. Sam Houston State, who got their first win this week. They're 1-8. They can't win as a favorite, 5.5-point favorite, 3-point favorite. They need to go back to D2. So I'll say that. Stay there. Sam Houston State CFB. Michigan State CFB. They couldn't beat Minnesota, who's also on my dead list. So they're gone. Broncos NFL. Panthers NFL. Packers NFL. I can't watch Jordan Love anymore. That game was horrible against the Rams last week. Tons of fumbles. They were showing it on Red Zone. The ball was going all over the place. It was like a rugby match. It was a rugby match more than a football game. The ball was on the ground more than it was thrown around and stuff. So Chargers NFL, which they have a chance to come off. I'll say that. I like the Chargers. They're not bad. They've shown some upside. So they're I'm on the fence. I'll probably end up taking them off. Maybe even betting them this week. Let's get into that game after I read the rest of this.
I was thinking the
off.
same thing.
And then Clemson CFB once again this year. They choked against Florida State. DBB Loyola Chicago, but this is from last year. Florida from last year. Murray State from last year. Baylor last year. I have that this team just sucks. But they won last night. I faded them. They won. I'll probably bring them off. Ohio State CBB. Richmond CBB.
This was last year, though. You're getting into last year.
Yes.
That doesn't continue this year, though, right? It gets wiped?
Yes, but I want to watch them play again first before I wipe them. Watch them play. If they still look crappy, I'll leave them on there.
This is a lengthy dead list. You got a lot of beef with some teams.
Yeah. Wichita State CFB, CBB, and Louisville CBB. I have this one back again after a 2-19 horrific start. I faded them night 1, and UMBC almost won outright. Called that one out. The spread was easy. So we'll leave them on there for sure. I'll probably clean up Loyola and and the rest of those for CBB, but Louisville will stay on there till they prove me wrong. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so speaking about that Chargers game, Rockzilla said Herbert is the most overrated QB. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty close to agreeing. Herbert does not really impress me much.
I
He
do
had
agree
a
with
lot
him.
of hype in him, and he just has not really came through. But I mean, I think Purdy or Mahomes takes the cake for most overrated. Patrick Mahomes gets all the crazy hype. He does one crazy pass, and then like the media goes wild about it. But then you see Josh Dobbs do the same pass the next week, and no one really cares. So look at that angle. But yeah, I agree. Uh, Herbert came into the league, threw a lot of TDs, and he's not been doing much. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
yeah.
speaking of that game, Chargers or Lions at Chargers, great game. The slate's actually pretty good. Great game, and I mean, I don't know. Right now, I see a lot of public money all over the Lions, but I might be on the other side. I think I like the Chargers +3. What do you think?
I'm right there with you on this one again. I like the Chargers +3. I don't know if I'll bet it. The Lions are good.
Like
It's their
that's like
job done.
sharp,
They're good.
sharp like a knife.
Yes, I think I would play this down to the money line if I do get to the counter with it. Well, I would definitely take the spread, but I'd be willing to play the money line. Is what I'm saying. I probably won't, but I'd be willing to.
Yo,
Give
Rockzilla.
me the Chargers +3. Herbert does look overrated. I agree with Roxilla there. He does have a finger problem, but it's on his left hand. I'm not going to give him an excuse.
No, there's no
He's
excuse.
looked terrible and he's looked overrated, and I agree with him. Is he the best team in his division? Let's talk about that. And I'll give him my pick. I'm on the Chargers +3. Probably willing to go to the grave with this and give him one more chance. Look better the last 2 weeks. They've got something.
Yeah. I see
Okay.
Rockzilla putting a lot of UFC in the chat. Rockzilla, we cover multi-sport kind of at the end. And the Chargers about the division? The Chiefs are in there.
Is Herbert the best QB
Oh,
in that division? Oh, okay, never mind.
What are we doing here, man?
Yeah, all right. Let's
but-
exit that.
I mean, I'm going to say Russell Wilson's better than him. Is he even the second best QB in this division?
That's what I'm willing to get here. I mean, he's better than Russ. What I've seen from him
Is
on
he,
the
though?
Broncos. He's not better than Seahawks Russ, obviously.
Russell's
Went to
16 and
Super Bowl and
5?
choked.
16
Wow.
TDs, 5 picks?
Pretty good. It is pretty good, but I stand corrected. But I got Herbert by a little bit there.
Yeah, probably me too.
Sometimes he just looks like he doesn't have his head on.
I do,
straight.
dude. Just playing devil's
Russell.
advocate. Yeah, I mean, you have that meme of him with the helmet on backwards.
I don't love what I've seen out of Herbert I actually hate what I've seen out of him.
Yeah.
The series looked so bad and overrated. But I'm willing to give him the slight notch over a really bad Broncos team and a bad Russell Wilson, who's looked better over the last few weeks. I'll give him some credit. They beat the Chiefs, so I have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Mahomes by a landslide, and he'll continue to rule that division. I don't care that the Broncos beat him. It's Mahomes' division. His AFC right now for years to come, it looks like. Hopefully we can knock him off one time. Knock on wood. But let's cover a few more games. Then we can get to lock teasers and stuff like that. Let's go to the Vikings and Saints. I think that's a pretty good one. Two NFC teams with some playoff implications. I'll just bring this up to you. Do you want to look at the playoff picture after we're done with the games? A little bit? Or
The
not really?
AFC, we can. The playoff picture makes me sick. But yeah, we could pull it up.
All right, so let's get to the Vikings. I think we know where we're both going here. Fading a guy on Twitter for this pick too with his little big lock of the week. Jay Gruden, big lock of the week. Saints -2.5. I already told him and responded to him on Twitter. I'm fading him. Taking Minnesota. I would play this down to the money line, but I'm going to take him on the 2.5 spread. I'm going to keep backing Minnesota every week until they prove me wrong and lose. This team's on a 5-game win streak, guys. They're sneaking up in that division. They're sneaking up in that playoff race. Lions, maybe watch out a little bit. This team's coming, and they're not looking back. They just got Josh Dobbs, who's on a high note. We love Josh Dobbs around here. I think he does the same thing against a very good Saints defense, so he could struggle a little bit. I would not be surprised if the Saints hold this one out with Derek Carr and those guys, their ability to run the ball, mix it up with Taysom Hill, pass it to Kamara, get him going. He probably has a touchdown against a not so good Vikings defense. He didn't have one last week. He probably has one. To give some credit to the other side, but I'm still willing to go to the grave with the Vikings until they prove me otherwise. Kind of like Jacksonville's doing right now with that win streak. I'm gonna ride the hot streaks until they prove me wrong. Give me the Vikings plus 2.5. This could be a teaser.
Yeah. I'm just gonna ride the Vikings 'cause I like Josh Dobbs. However, I don't think they win here. I actually think this is a monster letdown spot for them.
It is
Um,
definitely.
I mean, yes, legendary performance by Josh Dobbs, incredible. But is he even gonna be prepared to come in and play a full game against a Saints defense who's ruthless and a very good defense? Believe they have the most turnovers as a defense in the NFL. Saw Josh Dobbs fumble, throw a pick. I mean, I don't think this game goes the Vikings' way. I like the Saints here to come and get another win. Also, we saw the Saints just had their letdown spot. I mean, we saw them struggle against the Bears. They almost lost. So I like New Orleans here to come out and beat this Vikings team. However, I will be rooting for Dobbs though. It's a game. I'll be rooting for it, but I like the Saints here to win and cover.
I do want to talk about something interesting. Is this a squares week?
No.
You know, where the heavier favorites just go and get it done? I have some dogs, but I'm kind of getting a little bit of that. I mean, I wouldn't go to the grave with that, actually. I have dogs and favorites. But, yeah, so I guess I'll scratch that. But my teaser, I'll see if you want to roll with it. Let me get into that. I don't know if you're ready yet, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to
let's
get
go
into
into
it.
the
I want to
Steelers
give
game
out some
first.
best bets, but
And then we should probably go. We already went over the Monday night game. Do we want to go over the Raiders Jets? We can go over the Raiders Jets and Steelers Packers, and then we'll proceed. Let's talk about it. Austin, give your input. Raiders Jets. I know where I'm going. I'm going the Raiders with that new coach. For some reason, man, when these teams get the new coach, they kind of get some juice in them. They kind of look a little bit better. This is one where if the coach is smart, they have to get Devontae Adams going, right? I get Sauce will be all over him, but this is one where I could see Adams getting going and having a touchdown. Don't know if I'm willing to go to the grave because Sauce is all over him, but I do believe Adams is better than Sauce at this point in their careers. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some people have some other thoughts, but I do believe Adams is a little bit better. They just have to get him going. I don't believe in this O'Connell guy. He's pretty terrible, but I do believe in the new coach. Their juices are flowing. They seem pretty happy in that locker room after a moose shit 4 weeks of sadness. Yeah, give me the gross Raiders in this one on the money line to win this game. I'm probably on the wrong side, but I like to ride these little weird these weird interim head coaches or whatever he is. Yeah, give me the Raiders, I guess.
yeah, you see me shake.
Let me know what you think, Austin.
Yeah,
Talk me out of it if needed.
you see me shaking my head here. I love the Jets in this spot. The Raiders are coming off their Super Bowl win with their new coach. Now reality sets in. A bad rookie QB versus a Jets D that's going to shut you down. I also like the Raiders here to be the lowest scoring team in all of Sunday. Jets aren't going to have 3 fumbles again and just give up TDs short field fumbling again. No, they're not going to do that. Zach Wilson, again, did not turn the ball. I think he fumbled, actually, but he did not throw an interception. Monster letdown spot for the Raiders. Your Jets are my best play of the week. My favorite absolute supermax goat whale play is the Jets money line. You're getting it at a pick. I love the Jets here. It's my favorite play. They're gonna beat this horrid Raiders team. Reality sets in. Like I said, they just won their Super Bowl. They're smoking cigars after a win against the Giants with a rookie QB. What are we doing?
That's true. Austin
What are we
says Raiders win.
doing? Monster letdown
Non-biased.
spot.
Non-biased, he says Raiders win, but I'm gonna let you handle this one, audio. I'll probably not go to the grave here. Just a coin toss if I had to go with it. I'd pick the Raiders, but maybe I'll switch my pick and pick them. Jets. Oh, you never know. Crosby gonna feast on that terrible Jets line. Crosby's about all they got. And Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs has been pretty piss poor this year. I like Adams and I like Crosby. We're a little bit frozen, but we're good. Yeah, I guess we're on opposite sides, but you might have talked me out of this one. Let's move though. Let's go to the Steelers Green Bay. Not gonna say much on this one. Just give me the Steelers -3. Um, I just think they're that much better than a bad Jordan Love and a bad Packers team, but there's also a bad Pickett. Maybe I'll lean the under, the very square under, whatever it is. It's got to be a low total, right? What the total is 39. Yeah, I'd take the under. Maybe that's my best bet for this one, but I'd take the Steelers to 3. I like the Steelers here still.
Yeah.
Just because I'm fading Jordan Love, I hate what I see out of him this year.
Yeah, I don't even want to like waste my breath on these teams, but I also think Jordan Love is in big trouble. Green Bay's offense stinks. Um, Steelers coming off a mini bye. They play Thursday. I like the Steelers here to win and cover. I just think the Packers are that bad. They have nothing going on offense for them. Literally nothing. Steelers defense is gonna feast. I like Steelers defense anytime touchdown. And to Steelers either to push or win. It could get gross, but I like them to push or cover. So give me the Steelers.
All right. Wanna get into lock teasers, best bets, top 5?
Give me what you have, man.
Well, first we'll talk about the teaser. What do you think about this? And I kind of hate it, but I like it at the same time, just because the Bengals beat us. A little bit of spite there, I guess. Fuck the Bengals. I don't like them, but I mean, this feels right, and it's very square. It might be the squarest teaser of the week, which I don't usually go in these spots. But what do you think about the Bengals at -0.5 against the Texans to win that game? And the Bills -1.5 against the Broncos to win that game. You teaser that. Here's why I would teaser it. You're not getting the juiced money lines on this money line price. You're getting a -120 teaser where they have to win by 2 points and 1 point. Basically taking the money line. They win this game, it's going to be by more than that. You know, instead of getting, what's your price on this parlay? Instead of getting -41, you're getting -120 at a cheaper price on a teaser. What do you think about this one? Well, it's telling me, unfortunately, your picks cannot be teased. That's a little weird.
What is it?
Oh, it's because I checked the money line, not the spread. It's Bengals -0.5. And it's the Bills -1.5. Squarest one of the week you can go with.
Yeah, I like the Bills -1.5 here. I also love the Vikings +8.5.
But what do you think about the Bengals at -0.5? Gonna pick them.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Again though, like I said, I do like Bengals to win and cover. But I just don't know what team is gonna have the letdown spot. I mean,
Right?
like
is Texans sneaky?
is
Are the
CJ
Texans
Stroud
sneaky?
possible winning this game? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Do we flip the other way and go Texans +12.5? I'm not willing to do
Maybe,
that.
but then I'm gonna be kicking myself when I see the team get blown out.
Yeah, it's just a thought. Maybe I'll go with something else. I am with you there, though. I'm willing to go Vikings in that +8.5. Bills -1.5 instead.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Other spots I like the
one-on-one.
Titans. I like the Titans +7.5, and I also like the Patriots +7.5.
The Patriots. Yeah, I don't mind.
But
it
I
going
don't know
with
if
a
I can
1.5
go
spread,
again and
but
fade that Colts team.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
My
that.
lock
I'm
teaser
not.
that I did give out on here: Cowboys +8, Bills plus
-8.5.
no Bills plus whatever we were. We both covered. Cowboys Bills teaser last week covered. Picked up another W in my teaser.
Same here with the Commanders and Bills. Bills with the late sneaking teaser cover, so that was I guess the only positive from that one. Diggs had a TD. I had him anytime, but late TD, those snuck in the fourth quarter. But yeah, Washington plus and Bills plus there, pretty easy. Washington won outright against the Patriots, so that one was easy. And then yeah, so if teasers for me moved to 4 and 3, I missed 2 weeks there. Sorry guys, I'll be better. Yeah, in the week 10, 4 and 3. You want a line and go with the Vikings and Bills?
Dude,
I
I'm
might
gonna
make
put in.
my own and go Bills Bengals as well. But for the podcast sake, we can go but Vikings Bills. I don't mind that at all.
I like it.
Josh Dobbs and hopefully the Bills get right. Should against the Moose crap. Broncos team who are on their high horse, looking to get beat up, asking for it. I think the Bills cover 7.5. So Vikings scares me a little bit with the Dobbs letdown like we talked about, but I'm willing to go to the grave with this plus 8.5. They're rolling with 5 straight. Give me it. Yeah, I'm with you. So we're gonna both align here. It's gonna be the Vikings plus 8.5. The Bills tease down to -1.5. Lock it in. Licks and locks aligning. Sometimes we don't. Lock that one in. Yeah, let's get to 5-3 on these teasers. You want to move to top 5? Do you have
Best
something else on your
bets.
mind? Yeah, best bets. Yep, fair enough. I had them pulled up on here, but I'm gonna go to my notes because I
So
have them in my
I'll
notes.
I'll rock mine out quick just 'cause I know.
Alright.
So that teaser, love it. Jets -1, Grand Slam play. The over 38, Titans, Buccaneers. Dallas Cowboys team total over. Let me go check what I got quick. I believe it's like 27. Yes, Cowboys team total over 27.5. They beat up on bad teams. They're gonna smoke the Giants. Um,
Yeah, I mean I like that. I can get down with that. Uh, yeah, team total. What is it? 20 something.
27.5, and I'd rather
I
take
can
that than the 16
absolutely
point
get down with
spread.
that. I agree. I'm with you there. I hate the Cowboys so much, but I'm with you there. They can really
Yeah, I
blow this
think
game
it's
out of the
sharp. One of
water.
my best bets.
What's the odds on a Cowboys very easily, by the way, will get a touchdown on that defensive end in this one? I'll call that out right now.
I don't think you're getting good odds on
I
that.
we're gonna take a look. We have time on our hands. We're gonna take the look right now and dive into this game a little bit further. The Moose crap game, the spread's 16.5. I would be willing to lay the points there with the Cowboys. This is actually gonna be my survival pick for the Super Bowl tickets. We're on to week 10. We've made it this far. Cowboys are the pick. I'm willing to use them here. If I lose on this one, oh well, and the Cowboys will be so far in my grave it's not even funny. But they're not there yet. Give me the Cowboys in survival in this one. Anyways, let's find these odds. Props. Help me look if you can try to find it. We're looking for a defensive touchdown, right?
Yeah, but it might be too early. They don't even have player props up when I was looking, so that you might not even.
They have some up, but yeah, they might not be able to find it. Unfortunate, because I want to give it out on the pod.
Yeah, that's why I was looking earlier for like player props, but I couldn't find any. They only
Yeah,
had some
alright.
up.
Well, whatever. We can scratch it for now.
Why wouldn't you have touchdown props up though?
I bet you we're not getting anything north of plus 500 though, because
No,
of what they
no.
did a few weeks ago when they dominated the Rams with a
Yeah.
backup.
But
With Stafford in that one.
let's rip off your best bets.
Yeah. All right. So we got best bets. We got Cincinnati -6.5 versus the Texans at home. I got this one started. We talked about it earlier. It's my favorite bet of the week. I would say to tread carefully because it's a Moose team, but I'm willing to ride with it. And I might have a sizable wager on this one. I mean, the Cardinals at home +1.5. I'll see where that line moves and decide if I want to go to the grave with it. But +1.5, favorite bet of the week. Cardinals get it done against the 4-5 sputtering Falcons with Kyler Murray coming back. He does just enough to win this game by 3. Cardinals take it. Bills -7.5 against the Broncos, not because they've looked good. It's more of a fade on the Broncos, who have looked better in the last 2 weeks. Letdown spot for them. They're not going to look like the same team. Bills need to bounce back in a big way. I think they do it at home with those fans roaring. Hopefully they show up, and they will. The Bills Mafia always does. The Bills -7.5. You can play this to 10. Steelers -3 against the Green Bay Packers. This one I'm kind of more up in the air with, but I'll go to the grave with it. Vikings +2.5. We talked about it. Teaser up to 8.5. I have this one penciled in as bet till they lose because they're on a 5-game win streak. Same thing with Jacksonville +3. Now I'm on the kind of bet them till they lose. Could be this week against San Fran, who needs a win. And then Indy minus 1.5. I think if they do win this game in Germany, Pats, I don't want to say they will fire Belichick, but they could. You never know. It looks like they won't just because he's an old head with Robert Kraft, but there's news circulating. Who knows if it's true? Well, give me the Colts in this one, kind of to do exactly what they did to a Moose Panthers team last week, minus 1.5. I think it could be very similar to that one. Colts get it done. Yes. And that's all I have, but I feel like I'm missing a few from what I penciled in on this late when we were going through it. Let me. Yeah, and I'll add the Titans minus 1 to my card as well. I'll take the money line through the minus 1. And then we'll go with the Dallas team total that we aligned on our teaser, and then that's it. Yeah, right. My best spots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I have 7 on there. I'll do a 6-way parlay. Want to give out a parlay? Nah. All right, so we'll go Cincinnati minus 6.5, Arizona plus 1.5. Do I leave the Bills out or do we toss them in again? And I should learn from my mistakes. The Bills just need to be better, and I think they will. Maybe I'll throw them in at minus 7.5, but for the podcast sake, we'll go Steelers minus 3, Vikings plus 2.5, Jags plus 3, Indy minus 1.5. Not as confident on this one, but we'll see.
By the way, these picks, we will tweet them out Sunday at
Yes.
Licks and Locks on Twitter. So, yes, it might be hard to follow
Probably a better
podcast-wise
way
for
to
the
do it.
picks, but they will be tweeted out. The cards will be tweeted out. So just stay tuned for that. So, do we want to transition into our top 5 teams?
Yes, I do want to do that.
I do have my list ready.
I don't, so I'll get mine ready while you go ahead.
Yeah, so I have the Bills at 1. I think the stats speak for themselves. Just a little injuries right now is why they're holding them back. Nothing wrong. I think they're the best team in the league, non-biased. At number 2, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. The defense is relentless. They have Mahomes, which is the second best QB in the league. So they have something really good going in Kansas City. At 3, I have to have the Philadelphia Eagles there. They just beat the Cowboys, who are very solid, picked up a big win. At 4, I have the Baltimore Ravens, who arguably could be 1. They're just nasty right now. Offense and defense are clicking. They look incredible. And then coming in at 5, I'm going to put the Jacksonville Jaguars, riding a 5-game win streak at 6-2. They're on my list last week. I just can't take them out because they haven't played or showed anything. So we'll reevaluate them at 5 coming next week. But that's my list. I have the Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, Ravens, Jaguars. AFC
how are the Bills
again.
in your top 5, dude?
I mean,
we have to talk about it. We have to.
yeah, the stats speak for themselves. They're second in point differential so far this year. We're top 5 in both offense and defense stat wise. Allen is also been playing solid football despite that they're losing games and maybe an interception here and there. Also, now's a great time to go get in Josh Allen MVP odds. They could flip the script. They could flip the script right on their head. And Allen has been playing great football. It just takes them to get it going. Flip the script on their head, get a sneaky future. And yeah, they're at 1. Look up the numbers. Look up advanced analytics. Look it up.
You have them at 1?
Yes.
Oh my god, brother. They're 5-4.
I mean, okay.
I have them sneaking in barely into my top 15.
Okay, that is C. Oh my gosh. Oh, I just can't take.
Don't look too hot right now. Yeah, we don't align there. I love the Bills, but I mean, number 1 in the league after a 5-4.
Yeah,
pretty bad
I mean,
start.
I just don't.
Austin weighs in, bro. Come on with this non-biased crap. No way you put the Bills at 1 at 5-4.
Yeah, 5-4. Yes, they're at 1. Yeah.
Respond. You're gonna have to take questions and.
Yeah, I am. Yes. Yeah, non-biased. I have them at 4. They've been playing good football. They lose to a.
You have them at 1.
Yes, at 1. Yes, they lose to a Super Bowl contending team and then the sky's falling. Talk to me in January. Put the Bills up against anyone in the playoffs, and I think they win the game.
Can they get there? I agree. We both aligned on it.
Yes,
They
we're gonna
do.
get to the playoffs
Those odds
easily.
are very concerning, but they're disrespectful, and the Bills do get in.
We are efficient. Believe it or not, regardless of whatever the final score says, the Bills' offense is efficient. Yeah, they might be sneaking by bad games or bad teams, but the offense is efficient, and they just lose to a Super Bowl team, and like the sky's falling right now. No, we're sitting second at point differential through week 9. What does that mean? They've been playing so bad, but they are second in point differential. Explain that to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good, and I believe Allen's top 5 in pass yards still. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he is up there. Maybe I'm wrong though. I'd like a fact check to be honest on that. But I gotta get my top 5 teams ready. I don't even really
The
know,
one thing
dude.
that I'll say about Buffalo too, the only thing we're struggling with right now is we're not getting field goals. We're getting near the red zone. We're not stalling out and kicking field goals. It's right now it's been touchdown or it's been 0 points. Whether that's a turnover, going for it on 4th and short, or getting penalties out of field goal range, anything like that. We are not good with field goals. We were 31st over in the last like 4 games in field goals and getting field goals. So yeah. So you want to see me defend my answer? Yeah, that's what it is.
A little bit weird of a list. We're gonna move on and go to my top 5. I've got the Ravens at 1. I think I kind of called that out earlier when we talked about this team for a while, as we should. This team just looks like the best team. They got a 3-headed running back trio. Lamar's just nasty. Know that. Mark Andrews. Odell had a touchdown on his birthday. Shout out Odell. First touchdown of the year on his birthday. Should have had him in our parlay. Had I known it was his birthday, I would have. That also missed by 1 leg. Darrell Henderson, you got to get in. I was confident in that one. He didn't get in. Got to get in there. Anyways, we'll fire up a new one this week. But so Ravens Chiefs. I flipped the Chiefs. I flipped the Ravens and Chiefs. I had Chiefs last week at 1, Ravens at 2. I've seen enough from these guys. I've seen enough from the Ravens. They dominated another top 5 team, and that's why I flipped the Ravens and Chiefs. I do believe the Dolphins are very good, but a little bit fraudulent because they can't beat good teams, so they are out of my top 5 this week. I've had them in there basically every other week this year. Chiefs, I'm going to put at 2. Flip the Ravens and Chiefs. Still argue Chiefs are 1. Eagles at 3. You can also argue Eagles are 2 or 1 or 2 after for the Chiefs, but I have the Eagles at 3 after a big win against the Cowboys, where the Cowboys they almost sneakily won that game. It
I
came
mean,
down to the
Eagles could
last
be in at
play.
number 1 too. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. You could mix and match here, put them at 1, but I mean, CeeDee Lamb was 5 yards away from the Cowboys winning that game, and they were a 2-point conversion away from tying that game and going to overtime. So it was a good effort by the Cowboys, but Eagles held on, and then the Jags and Lions 4 and 5. Jags, they keep winning and winning and winning until they lose. They're going to be in my top 5. Lions, by default, just because these other teams aren't very great, they got to be in my top 5. I do like what I'm seeing from them. 6 and 2. Are they a team that beats bad teams, loses to good teams? I would say no because they beat the Chiefs in week 1, but give me the Lions in my top 5, slaughtered by my number 1 team, the Ravens. That's a big reason why the Ravens are my top team, and I switched them in the Chiefs because they showed not only one time they can beat up on a top 10 team in the Lions, but twice now, who I have the Seahawks in my top 10. They beat up on them and made them look like a top 15, 20 team. So yeah, I'll read off my list from head to toe. Ravens at 1, Chiefs at 2, Eagles at 3, Jags at 4, and Lions at 5. And just to clarify one more time, you can probably mix and match my top 3 with the Ravens, Chiefs, and Eagles. But so that's the top 3 in that order, and top 5 with Jags and Lions following behind. So we move week 10. Yeah, anything to talk about? Any hot takes as we get into the week 10 here?
yeah, hot take. Josh Allen wins MVP at the end of the year.
That is a very hot
Non-biased.
take. It's a scorching hot take.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any. I mean, I want to just say
Bills
go
to
get
win the
your
Super Bowl.
Ravens. I think this is the week. Go get your Ravens Super Bowl tickets in, plus 950. I might play this up to like $50 or something. We'll see. But or I might wait if they lose this week against the Browns and then maybe get in on it if they win or lose. They lose at a better price. They win, maybe at a worse price, but still a pretty decent one. Now is the time to jump on the Ravens, I'd say. I think they're, I don't want to say they're hitting their peak, but I think they're playing their best football this season right now, and I don't see them slowing down.
Yeah.
So I think they're just going up, and their ceiling really hasn't been reached yet, as we've seen.
Yeah.
A big rave on the Ravens for us this week.
Yeah.
I do like them.
They look very good. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Do we have anything else to talk about NFL-wise? Rockzilla's been waiting for us to talk about some UFC.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we had some 3 big fights that got announced. We have Duplessis versus Sean Strickland. We have Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera. And then we have Volk versus Topuria announced. Also, let's just talk about quick. We have this Saturday. We have Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall. Me and you've talked about this already. We have Pavlovich like mauling this guy bad.
I love some spots
knock him out.
card.
Knock him out in week 1. Knock him out in round 1. Tom Aspinall's in huge trouble this Saturday.
I love some spots on this card. Yeah, my 2 best spots. It's an underdog in Pavlovich and a slight underdog against Tom Aspinall, who I think is better than Tom Aspinall by leaps and bounds. He's coming off is this his first fight off that ACL injury? When Blades tore him up in that ring?
Possibly.
No,
No, I think he
Oh,
fought.
he's had one more tune-up
Yeah, I was
fight.
gonna say he knocked out
Now
some
he
bum.
thinks he's ready for Pavlovich. He's not. I mean, wow, there's a point spread. It's +5.5. I gotta dive deeper into that. But I'm willing to lay Pavlovich on the money line.
Yeah.
-102. Aspinall's -118. I think these odds are completely wrong. I think Pavlovich should be somewhere -150 to -175. I think he rolls.
I agree.
Round 1 knockout. Neither of these guys been out of round 1 in the UFC, I believe, in their careers. This one's not getting out of round 1. Pavlovich KOs Aspinall in round 1. People were so high on this Aspinall guy, so hype on him. Bisping said he can go down as the biggest and best heavyweight ever, potentially. I think this is a big-time fade spot for Aspinall. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm willing to go grave on Pavlovich.
Yeah.
I think he's that good. I think he can compete with John Jones. And then in the main event, I love Alex Pereira. Another spot. He's a slight favorite, -122.
Yeah.
Prochaska, 102.
Hold that thought for
I think-
just 1
hold on,
second.
I think Pereira knocks him out as well. 2 knockouts.
Yeah. So we have
I love these 2 this weekend.
we have Rockzilla's prediction. He says Duplessis and New says Duplessis is gonna beat Sean Strickland. He says O'Malley retains, beats Chito Vera. He said Volk retains in a tough, close title defense against Topuria. Sergey wins and Jury wins. So, Rockzilla, me and Kyle both disagree with you on the Jury fight. I think Alex Pereira knocks his weird, unorthodox head off. Jury's just weirdo. He's gonna get his head popped off. Struggled against Pereira's buddy. And yeah, I don't I don't think he's gonna win. He's in for a tough fight here.
Yeah.
Barely beat Glover.
Duplessis and New. You have Strickland, Audio? Or
Yes, I have Strickland. He's gonna knock that guy's head off. Are you kidding me?
does O'Malley retain? Does he?
I mean, dude, yes. That's just
Sterling, I think he retains. Sterling broke down the fight, but a biased Sterling clearly said Sterling said O'Malley wins, and then Cejudo said if kind of stupid, if Chito does the exact same thing he did last fight, he can win. Obviously, yeah. Sergey, new interim heavyweight champion. We agree there. Jury, new lightweight heavyweight champion. I'm with you there. A lot. That or unorthodox style is not going to work when he goes flying in at a Pereira with his face wide open to crack.
and just gets pieced up, right?
Pereira's a different beast, guys. He knocked out Izzy. He's a different beast. Going to be a knockout from Pereira.
Right.
Mark my words.
I agree.
And it's going to be a knockout by Pavlovich. Mark my words. I don't mind Duplessis. I do think O'Malley wins. I'm with you there. Volk in a very tough fight. I'm actually on the contrary. Give me Topuria in a very close fight. Volk got his head concussed in his last fight, his short turnaround. I like Tupiria anyways. I know nobody will agree with me. And
No.
I like Volk. He's pound for pound top 3. I think Tupiria is well rounded. But yeah, my 2 favorite spots are in the co-main and the main. Sergey Ferreira. Easy.
Yeah, CBB started.
Yeah, Drake.
I'm
They're
not.
not looking too
We're
hot.
not gonna go too deep into this because there's 330 teams. I'll just say I will be backing the Buffalo Bulls a lot this year and Syracuse
Houston
are my
cover,
teams
dude.
to root for.
Use at the end of the game got gross.
And come around March or come around January, February when NFL ends, this podcast might turn into CBB, kind of all sports. The NBA we got rolling right now. I'm a big basketball guy. I know the ins and out. I'm assistant coach to varsity, and yeah, I really know the game. So please, when you talk NBA basketball, you come to me. I'll give you free picks and my analysis on teams. And yeah, I'm a highly qualified assistant sectional coach champion. Um, yeah. I think that wraps it up for week 10, right? We got nothing else?
Yeah. Should I run through some quick futures that I have? Just I won't go into detail, but I'll just name some that I
Yeah,
have for
rip 'em.
CBB.
Yeah, rip 'em.
I got Marquette at plus 2,500. I love them this. What I saw last year, Arizona plus 2,500. I love Caleb Love transferring there. No pun intended. The Longhorns plus 6,000. They got Max Abmas from Oral Roberts. Watch out for them. Arkansas, the Muss Bus plus 2,500. Miami plus 5,000. They lost Wang from last year, a few guys, but they have some returners. You know they'll make a run. Creighton plus 2,500. They lost Kaluma. They still have some guys from last year though. Brenner, and then Tennessee I have at plus 2,800. That's it so far.
Yeah, not bad. I like 'em, and man, look at the 76ers rolling the Celtics by 10.
Yep, I'm on the Sixers, so
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Fade the bad news.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think that does it for week 10. Clips will be out. Licks and Locks on Twitter. Please go follow Licks and Locks on Twitter. Posting content every day. Licks and Locks on Twitter. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Peace. This will be uploaded to YouTube later tomorrow.